Good evening. There were 11 murders committed in the last 24 hours across the country. Among the victims are 2 women and a man killed in a triple murder in Bounty Hall, TRELAWNY. Here is Colleen May with more on this story.
The TRELAWNY police are probing the circumstances surrounding the murder of 3 people, including 2 women, who were among 6 individuals shot up in a motor vehicle during the wee hours of this morning. Police investigators on the scene of the crime alleged that it was a result of mistaken identity in an ongoing gang conflict in the parish. The deceased have been identified as 24-year-old Daniel Williams, otherwise called Alkaline, 26-year-old Tashay Black, otherwise called Tash, and 25-year-old Shanila Clark, otherwise called Suki, all of TRELAWNY addresses. Police reports are that about 1:10 a.m., Williams and 5 other occupants drove to a section of the Bounty Hall community to assist a female friend in transporting her sick child to hospital. They were in the process of driving from the premises when 3 men, armed with high-powered weapons, emerged from behind the house and opened fire on the occupants of the Voxy bus. All 6 occupants of the vehicle received multiple gunshot wounds and were rushed to hospital, where Williams, Clark and Black were pronounced dead. 3 other persons who also received gunshot wounds were rushed to hospital, where they are admitted in serious condition. Commanding officer in charge of TRELAWNY, Superintendent Carlos Russell, said that the investigators are following strong leads and hope to make an arrest soon.
From information police has received, about 1:45 a.m. this morning, a black Voxy motor car with 6 occupants pulled up at a house when they were pounced on by 4 men, 3 armed with high-powered rifles, who fired shots at the vehicle, injuring all 6 persons. 3 persons have since succumbed to their injuries. The others are at the hospital. From information we received, this incident would have stemmed from some gang conflict that has been happening in the space. The police are aware of the situation and we are following strong leads, and hopefully we will hold the persons responsible for this crime very soon. Based on our information, these persons that are involved in this conflict are not native of the parish of TRELAWNY, but they have been displaced here and have been here for some time. These are persons that we have been monitoring over the period, and we are aware of the situation, and we believe that we can bring a closure to it very soon.
Head of the Crime and Security Portfolio of the JCF Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey, who was at the scene of the crime this morning, said that all resources available to the police will be used to bring those responsible for this crime to justice.
There's a concern about crime across Jamaica. Whilst we see an uptick in Era 1, we are concerned about the level of violence that we are seeing across Jamaica. And the type of violence that we are experiencing is not normal. And I think when we have these type of extraordinary situations, there's a requirement for an extraordinary response. What I will say in respect to this matter, we are going to use all the resources that are available to ensure that the people that are responsible are brought to justice. And I want to say we are committed to that. The fact is that I think, and the Commissioner has been consistent about this, about persons who are placed on bail and continue to perpetrate crimes whilst they're on bail. And I think the legislative process should be so framed that persons who are charged for certain types of offense, they should remain in custody until trial. Albeit that we have to ensure that the system of justice in terms of trial is very swift. And so I think if we have a structure like that, it will mitigate some of these type of atrocities that we are seeing.
We will bring you more on the story in subsequent newscast. Reporting from Mello TV News, I'm Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen, for that report. In other news tonight, the bloodletting continued in St. James last night. This as the local music industry lost another young dancehall act to gun violence. The latest victim, KAPELLA Don, whose real name is JAVAN WILLIE. He was a Montego Bay-based artist. He was fatally shot by an unknown assailant in Montpelier in the parish at approximately 4:20 p.m. yesterday. Now, the Constabulary's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, confirmed the incident. The 28-year-old entertainer was known for the singles Bad Breed Badness, In My Life, One Life, and God's Mercy, the latter amassing more than 580,000 views on YouTube. In the meantime, an unidentified man was fatally shot at North Parade in the vicinity of St. William Grant Park in downtown Kingston shortly after 7 p.m. yesterday. It was the second gun fatality within the Kingston Central Police Division within only hours, following the killing of a mechanic on Chancery Lane earlier in the day. The police division has been plagued by gang rivalry and resultant murderous activities for quite some time, and despite a major drive by the security forces to contain the killings there, things still seem to be problematic. Reports coming into our news center are that the latest murder victim was walking along the roadway when he was approached by men who shot him multiple times. The injured man died on the spot. Continuing with the news tonight, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, says it has made arrangements for a follow-up visit to the family of a 1-year-old who died on Wednesday after being left in a car for hours. The CPFSA says upon receiving information of the incident, a team of first responders visited with the family on Wednesday. However, initial attempts to provide grief counseling were limited as family members remained inconsolable in trying to come to grips with their loss. It says the family is, however, receiving support from other stakeholders. Now, the agency says it will also be working with the children in the family to offer support. CEO of the CPFSA, Rosalie Gage Gray, says the incident highlights the need for parents to be alert and vigilant, whether on the road or in the home. The 18-month-old baby died on Wednesday morning at the Black River Hospital in St. Elizabeth, where she was admitted after being left in a locked car for 8 hours on Monday. The child is the daughter of 2 police officers assigned to the St. Elizabeth Division. Reports are that the policewoman took the baby to work on Monday for the child's father to take her to a daycare center. However, the child was left inside the car from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. while the policeman carried out his duties. Now, the baby was later found unconscious and taken to hospital where she died 2 days later. Today, Chief of Defense Staff Lieutenant General Rocky R. Meade, with the approval of the Defense Board, promoted Commodore Antoinette Wemyss Gorman to the rank of Rear Admiral. Speaking at the medal pinning ceremony, Lieutenant General Meade said he is urging everyone to give her their support, and he hopes that the obvious historic nature of the event will not overshadow the competence that Rear Admiral Antoinette Wemyss Gorman brings to the table. In the meantime, humbled and privileged, those were the words of Rear Admiral Antoinette Wemyss Gorman shortly after she was sworn in as Jamaica's first female Chief of Defense Staff by Governor-General Sir Patrick Allen at King's House yesterday. Here is Colleen May with the details.
History was created yesterday when Rear Admiral Antoinette Sandra Lee Weems Gordon was installed as the Jamaica Defence Forces JDF First Chief of Defence Staff CDS. Governor-General Sir Patrick Allen presented her with the instrument of appointment during a ceremony at King's House, which also saw her subscribing to the Oath of Allegiance and the Oath of Office. Admiral Weems Gordon succeeds Lieutenant General Rocky Meade, who retires from the JDF after serving for 38 years. the last 5 as CDS. The Governor General, in congratulating the new CDS, noted her outstanding military track record while expressing confidence that she will continue to serve with distinction.
The first woman to be appointed Chief of Defense Staff of the Jamaica Defense Force. This appointment is also another first in the English-speaking Caribbean and the Commonwealth. The Chief of Defense Staff is the highest-ranking officer in the military who advises the Prime Minister on matters related to defense. One of the functions of the Chief of Defense Staff is to reform the various operations of the military, and successive holders of this post have each made outstanding contributions to the modernization of the force. Rear Admiral Weems Gordon, you are placed squarely at the helm of the defense of our country. However, you are no stranger to challenges. Your outstanding track record, your history of firsts, and trailblazing career to date speaks to your suitability for this post. I am confident that as you build on the foundation of your predecessors, you will continue to serve with distinction. You will be a positive role model for women and men alike as they witness what can be achieved through determination and purpose.
In her reply, Admiral Weems Gordon, who said she was humbled and privileged by her appointment, expressed gratitude for the display of confidence in her ability to command the men and women of the force.
I, Antoinette Sandra Lee Weems Gorman, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Jamaica, and that I will uphold and defend the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica, and that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my responsibilities to the people of Jamaica. So help me God. I, Antoinette Sandra Lee Weems Gorman, do swear that I will well and truly serve the people of Jamaica in the office of the Chief of Defense Staff of the Jamaica Defense Force, and I will do right to all manner of people after the laws and usages of Jamaica without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, in congratulating Admiral Weems Gordon, said her selection through a competitive process by the Defense Board was based on the body's conclusion that she has the requisite leadership skills, experience, commitment, and a strategic vision to lead the men and women of the JDF and drive them to achieve even greater levels of success.
I am confident that all Jamaicans join me in wishing you every success in this new appointment. Rear Admiral Weems Gorman assumes this position having spent the past 30 years of her professional life progressing through the ranks of the JDF. She is no stranger to being a pioneer, having achieved many firsts in her extensive military career. Our new CDS was selected through a very competitive process. Ultimately, myself and other members of the Defense Board concluded that Rear Admiral Weems Gorman possesses the combination of leadership skills, the experience, the commitment, and the strategic vision to lead the men and women of the JDF and to drive them to achieve even greater levels of success. I look forward to benefiting from her wise counsel on matters related to defense and security. The Rear Admiral's many years in the JDF Coast Guard has allowed her to treat significantly with issues relating to maritime security and the blue economy. She will therefore bring a unique perspective to our discussions and our efforts to strengthen our borders and prevent illicit inflows, to protect the lives and livelihoods of our coastal communities, and to ensure that Jamaica can derive sustainable benefit from our maritime resources.
The Prime Minister also said that the JDF will continue along the path of transformation and capacity building as it positions itself to more effectively and efficiently combat current and future security threats locally and in the wider Caribbean.
Under Rear Admiral Wims Gorman's leadership, the JDF will continue to grow from strength to strength. It will also continue along its path of transformation and capacity development as it positions itself to more effectively and efficiently combat current and future threats impacting Jamaica and indeed the wider Caribbean region. I am confident that the JDF will also continue its efforts to change the culture of violence in Jamaica. It will continue to positively impact our youth, not only through the Jamaica National Service Corps, but also through its various community service activities and its deepening partnership with the Heart Trust NSTA and other entities. Under Rear Admiral Wims Gorman's leadership, we will build on our relationships with our military partners within the region and beyond. Over many years, the JDF has earned and maintained a stellar reputation as a trustworthy partner, one that comes to the aid of our brothers and sisters when requested. I know that the CDS is committed to building on these partnerships and committed to enhancing the JDF's sterling reputation both at home and abroad.
Reporting from Mello TV News, I'm Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen, for that report. And we now turn our attention to tonight's COVID-19 update, where Jamaica reported 773 new cases of COVID-19 and 7 virus-related deaths yesterday. Now, this increases the total of cases of the virus since the start of the pandemic to 117,717, and the death toll now to 2,568. Now, of the newly reported cases, there were 468 females and 305 males, ranging in age from 6 days to 96 years. In tonight's COVID-19 parish breakdown, Kingston and St. Andrew recorded 215 cases, St. Catherine recorded 200 cases, St. Anne 112 cases, Manchester recorded 69 cases, Clarendon 62 cases, Portland 46, St. Elizabeth 37, St. Thomas 10 cases, Westmoreland recorded 9 cases, while St. James recorded 7, and St. Mary recorded 4 cases. Hanover and Trelawney recorded 1 case each. Meanwhile, the latest victims include 4 females aged 73, 75, 80, and 89 years, as well as a 59-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew, an 86-year-old male from St. Anne, and a 75-year-old male from St. Catherine were also among the latest victims. The deaths occurred between August 2021 and January 2022. 5 deaths were reported as under investigation, while another was reported as coincidental. The country also recorded 199 additional recoveries, bringing the total of recovered persons now to 68,079, with 13,989 confirmed active cases on the island. Continuing with the news tonight, Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says he is debunking claims that somehow the government has not taken steps to manage the process of the 4th wave of the COVID-19 infection in the country with adequate restrictions.
We met today with the Medical Doctors Associations, the JMA and the JMDA, MAJ, and the JMDA, and also earlier this week with the Nurses Association of Jamaica to get their own perspectives as representatives of their membership on what was happening. And it's quite clear that the pressure is on and it is having an impact. I want to just thank them for their leadership, for their patience, for the fact that they are not, they are not panicking. They're trying to manage, and that is very important in these times. So I want to just assure the country that our healthcare workers are resilient and they are holding the front line, doing what they need to do, even at the risks that they are encountering. I don't think we can emphasize that more, that the vaccination levels among our healthcare workers we would like to see increase from where it is, and as a result of that, giving them the protection that they deserve.
Dr. Tufton, during yesterday's COVID-19 press conference, urged the public to also take the necessary precautions to help manage the spread of the virus.
76% of communities with COVID present. The positivity rate, 7-day average, 49, almost 50%. Very, very high, 10 times what is acceptable. The reproductive rate also very high, and the occupancy, bed occupancy at high alert, if you will, extremely high, and our vaccination level just inching up, but much too slow. So it is a very important message to the country that we must take the necessary precaution. The public was asked and is still being asked to utilize discretion in accessing public health facilities. Outpatient clinics and elective procedures have been scaled down based on the level of staff and bed occupancy. And this continues to be the position, policy position down through the ministry to the particular institutions as we continue to experience these high numbers, and also very importantly and concerning to us, the staff coverage being reduced or impacted by illness among our healthcare workers. I want to take this opportunity to just wish for those healthcare workers who have been impacted a speedy recovery.
In thanking healthcare workers, Dr. Tufton assured the country that the workers are resilient and are holding the front line even at the risk of their own health.
We met today with the medical doctors associations, the JMA and the JMDA, MAJ, and the JMDA, and also earlier this week with the Nurses Association of Jamaica to get their own perspectives as representatives of their membership on what was happening. And it's quite clear that the pressure is on and it is having an impact. I want to just thank them for their leadership, for their patience, for the fact that they are not, they are not panicking. They're trying to manage, and that is very important in these times. So I want to just assure the country that our healthcare workers are resilient and they are holding the front line, doing what they need to do, even at the risks that they are encountering. I don't think we can emphasize that more, that the vaccination levels among our healthcare workers we would like to see increase from where it is, and as a result of that, giving them the protection that they deserve.
And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News at 8. I am Shelley Ann Hill. Do stay safe and pleasant viewing.